why do people love tourbillon movements? There's a really simple reason as to why people love them. They look cool. And that is a lot of what watch collecting is. It's aesthetics. It looks cool, it's mechanical, it does something on the top of the dial, which you can see. It's not an open heart, which I think is kind of lame. They look different from what other people have on their wrists, and I think that's the reason why people like them. The Chinese have made tons of affordable versions of tourbillon movements. Not a lot of them very good looking. Today, I have a good looking tourbillon to show you guys. Let's flip the camera and take a look at an affordable tourbillon. So this is the first tourbillon that I have featured on my channel. It is a Chinese tourbillon. That means it is affordable. It's around $1,300. And they did a really good job with the design of this watch. The case, the movement, everything is really well designed. It gets an 80-hour power reserve. Comes in nice packaging too. So I'm actually pretty impressed. Now it comes with a little booklet here, microfiber cloth, which is signed. The box itself is made out of leather, has the name of the brand embossed on the outer portion here. I have no idea what this name means. It's a very weird name, but of course, here's a watch. You get a warranty card. There's a hang tag. Here is the watch. Now, immediately, if you are familiar with Roger Dubuis, you're going to notice some similarities between this movement and the movement that is in the Excalibur version, the tourbillon version of the Excalibur from Roger Dubuis. And that is because this is probably an homage to that movement. Now, obviously the case is not, but the movement definitely is. It's a little bit turned, I think, in this watch versus the Roger Dubuis, but there you go. They had to take inspiration from somewhere, I guess. They didn't come up with their own movement. It is made in-house by this brand, I think is what they are saying. However, again, I would imagine it's a sourced movement from somewhere in China. It's a very nicely finished movement, though. You can see it is PVD coated, and the entire movement is basically PVD coated. Obviously, there are some elements that are not, and is very skeletonized. So all of the bridges are skeletonized. Some of the barrels are skeletonized. You can see basically everything that's going on. And the coating is really nice, and everything is finished. So you even have some edges that are polished. It looks very good in person, very clean. They chose a handset here that has no lume, obviously. I don't think there's any lume on here. It's a dress watch, but you do get the tourbillon cage right there. It's a flying tourbillon. There's really nothing around it, so it's sort of floating, which looks awesome. It does look awesome, and it looks a lot like that movement that I just mentioned from Roger Dubuis. And moving the hands here, so you can see a little bit more of that. The hands are polished, they're faceted, they're sort of interesting hands, nothing too crazy, but interesting. And it's only signed right here, the name of the brand. And then you have a chapter ring that acts as all of the indices. So each one of the indexes are applied, and those are little faceted, polished markers. That's it. So they sort of restrain themselves from over designing the watch, which I like. And they also did a really good job with the case. So the case is really understated. It's a polished and brushed case. You have brushing on the sides. You also have polishing. So the bezel is polished. And then you have a sign crown with their logo. Nice lugs that turn down. It's around a 40 millimeter watch, but we'll do measurements in just a few minutes. And it just says tourbillon on the back. It says Bosch for some reason on here. I have no idea why. And it has a screwed-in case back, which looks really good, and quick release on the strap. Now the strap is really nice. I wish it wasn't embossed as much as it is. It's very, very embossed, but the color is really nice. What they did is, so this is black on the top. It's an embossed strap as well. So it's cav leather, and it's embossed to look like a crocodile strap, I guess. But they put a sort of, I guess, Cartier style buckle on here. The only thing I don't like about that is when you put this on your wrist. Now, to open this, you just have to use its friction close. So it's just a single fold over scissor. You actually have to put the strap in like this. And well, you first go through this side, and then you take the strap and then you fold it over, and then you put it through like that. I don't like that. Honestly, I really think that's kind of annoying. and it will ruin the strap. So what happens is, and the same thing happens with Cartier. So they're not the only ones who do this, and Cartier basically stopped doing this with their buckle designs. When you want to resize this, you're going to have a fold in the strap, depending on if you're going bigger. If you're going smaller, obviously that fold goes under, so you won't see that fold, but this will permanently fold the strap right there and right there. Right now, obviously not bad, but after use and sweat and things like that, the strap will never go back to where it was. So that's just something to keep in mind. It's almost like you're cutting the strap, you know. Also, the bolstering sort of ends right here, so it's a little stiff here, and it's very soft here, so it doesn't make much sense. Let's do quick measurements, and then let's throw it on the wrist, and we'll talk about price again. So this is a 40 millimeter watch, spot on. It's hand wound, so it's not incredibly thick, 10.8 millimeters. And you have a big crown, 6.3 millimeters, and then the lug to lug, which is a true lug to lug because the strap is not molded to the case, 46.8 millimeters. So very quickly, let me throw it on my wrist, and then we will quickly talk about price. And then that's really it. There's no loom here to speak of, so we will wrap up the video. Winding on it is very nice. I have noticed that this barrel right here skips a little bit, and I see if it, when I wind it, if it does it again. There you go. It just skips a little bit. I think it's one of the teeth that hold it in place when you're winding it. It could be that I'm overwinding it. It does have an 80-hour power reserve, so that could be a mechanism that keeps it from overwinding. I'm not sure. I did reach out to them. They did not get back to me, so I have no idea what that is. But like I said, it does have an 80-hour power reserve, which is pretty good for a watch that is a tourbillon. And anyway, I mean, any watch with an 80-hour power reserve is really, really good. So very quickly, let me show you what I have on my wrist, and then we will throw this guy on my wrist. So today I have a new watch that I just purchased. I actually purchased this from Watchbox. It's my first experience with them. A friend of mine actually works at Watchbox, and I reached out to him when I saw that they had this watch, and I was really excited about it. This is an Oct Un Junior, which is their sort of moon phase watch. And this is sort of customized a little bit, and just really cool. It has a lot of different colors on it, which is the reason why I really liked this version. I might have done something a little bit different with the actual moon phase wheel, but other than that, I think everything about it is pretty cool. It's in grade 5 titanium. It gets an ETA movement, but just a really awesome watch. You can see it's just a monoblock case sort of look. You do have screws here which hold the case together, so there's two pieces, but very, very cool. Anyway, so here is the tourbillon, and I think it's called Agelocer, but I'm not 100% sure, on my 7.5-inch wrist. And you can see very visible tourbillon cage here. So it definitely is the star of the show, and that's the reason why I think the movement is very good looking. That blackened area of the movement, the bridges and everything, matches the chapter ring, and then they have the gold, which I normally wouldn't like, cage for the tourbillon. Works really well. Looks very, very good. And like I said, they sort of borrowed this from, and I say borrowed, but the design from Roger Dubuis. I don't know, obviously, the mechanics wise, I don't think so, but this is definitely an homage to that. But they put it in a different case completely, different hands, different crown, different strap. The whole lug structure is very different from what you would get from Roger Dubuis, so I think this looks good. Tell me what you guys think. This is a $1,295 watch that I think you can get through Amazon, which is pretty interesting that they're actually a seller on Amazon. They also make a moon phase. They make a bunch of different, very interesting, very Swiss looking watches. And that's what they've kind of gone for. Most Chinese tourbillons aren't this good looking, aren't this well made. And I've encountered many, and I've been offered a few to review on my channel, and I have refused. This is the first one that I've actually decided to review because from, head down, when you're looking at this watch, it does not look like a cheap watch. You know, I think it looks like a really nice watch. It's really pretty well made. It looks like a good skeletonized watch too, which is also very hard to do. And they got that by darkening a lot of the elements of the dial, or movement, lack of dial. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of this watch? What do you think of Chinese tourbillons? I think they're doing some pretty cool stuff. This is pretty cool in my opinion. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Please also don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel and I very much appreciate it. Please follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is WatchChrisBlog. All one word. I have some links in the description. Those links are to Amazon. If you click those links and buy anything, it helps support the channel. It doesn't cost you anything extra. However, I very much appreciate it. Anyway, thank you for logging on. I'll catch you guys in the next video.